afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3, and a special welcome to all our listeners on the TBC radio network. I'm Ryan Beachu. Top of the news this afternoon. Although Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar did not hold any bilateral meetings with CARICOM leaders during the high-level week of the UN General Assembly, Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers says that was due to time constraints and not diplomatic tensions. The Prime Minister will travel to Washington, D.C. at 3 p.m. today, where she is scheduled to meet with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. During her time in New York, Persad-Bissessar met with leaders from Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. But notably, she did not hold any formal meetings with CARICOM counterparts, all of whom were present at the assembly. A planned meeting with Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness did not take place, with Sobers again citing scheduling challenges. Responding to questions about possible friction within CARICOM states following the Prime Minister's UN address, Sobers dismissed any suggestion of tension. As the country prepares for the upcoming national budget, Professor Roger Hussein says there needs to be a strategic economic push. Speaking on CNC3's Morning Brew program, Professor Hussein outlined the areas which he believes Finance Minister Dave Tanku must take into consideration.
If he focuses on reducing the non-energy fiscal balance and focusing on increasing non-energy export revenues and improving the labor force participation rate, he is well on the way to having the right methodology in terms of a strategic plan to fix the economy.
And he says hand in hand with these measures must be a focus on reducing crime and improving business operations.
I am seeing less murders as compared to a year ago and the year before and the year before. They now have to work on reducing home invasions, improving various facets of doing business so that the private sector could get more involved in the economies.
He also notes the private sector has already absorbed about 60,000 Venezuelans, an indication that there is room within the economy to expand. Chief Executive Officer of the American Chamber of Commerce, TNT, Nira Tiwari, says government does not have much wiggle room when it comes to borrowing. Last week, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said she was able to secure a $94 million aid grant from China, which she said will be used to fund jointly approved projects in this country. However, Tiwari says this country's borrowing capacity is limited and efforts should be made to stimulate the economy locally.
The reality is that the fiscal space for the government, that is the amount that we can borrow now, is much more limited than it has been in pretty much in the lifetime of most people who are around today. And so we have to get creative in how we raise revenue to be able to do the things that we want to do, and how we use that revenue to stimulate the creation of other revenue.
Tiwari is suggesting that government enters into public-private partnerships in a new bid to create revenue streams.
Doing some work on the establishment of a fund that would attract private sector capital, possibly through the guaranteeing of the interest, and therefore not hit the government balance sheet, to be deployed on productive projects so that there will be some private sector oversight on that as well. Of course, in collaboration with the government, is not giving up the government's role in the society, but we can mobilize funds from where they are available without adding to the government balance sheet.
The budget presentation will be in October. A date is yet to be announced by the government. Breakfast Shed, the local food hub at Wrightson Road in Port of Spain, is now closed. Reports indicate that the popular lunchtime spot has been closed due to non-payments on the part of vendors to the Urban Development Corporation, as well as TNTech. There are reports that over $1 million is owed to UDCOT, while over $30,000 is owed to TNTech. The vendors are expected to meet with UDCOT to discuss a way forward. Meanwhile, former government minister Robert Lee Hunt has issued a statement saying this is not merely about unpaid rent, it is about fairness. memory, and justice. It would be a travesty to let the breakfast shed disappear from our national landscape without making every effort to save it. He has called on professionals, including lawyers, accountants, architects, financiers, and indeed all citizens who have benefited from the breakfast shed to step forward and assist the vendors both financially and professionally. The Macbean Ramlila and Cultural Group may soon go on its own way when it comes to state funding and apply as an independent entity next year. President Matthew Danraj says a late application by the National Ramlila Council meant they received no funds from the Culture Ministry last year, and this year's disbursement may only be received by January. Ramlila runs from October 3rd to 13th. He says the cost of putting on the outdoor play, including the building of effigies, which can reach up to 75 feet, is $150,000. Police are currently at the scene of a shooting which occurred at the basketball court in John Laventille a short while ago. The incident, which occurred around 10:30 a.m., left 2 men injured. Although details are still emerging, CNC3 News understands one of the victims is in critical condition, while the other is said to be stable. Stay with us here on the Midday News. When we come back, we'll have the latest in sport for you.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
Great deals with PRW. Save big with laptops starting from $3,100. Sky 7-inch tablet only $465. Need a printer? We've got it. Starting from $625. Get a 40-inch RCA TV only at $1,850. 19.5-inch LG monitor $699. Secure your home with our security combo starting from $3,000. Call PRW today.
Welcome back. The West Indies team in India has been dealt another blow. Having already lost Shamar Joseph to injury, the regional team now has to do without Alzari Joseph, who has been ruled out of the Test series starting on Thursday against India due to a lower back injury. Joseph, who has 124 wickets from 40 Test matches, complained of discomfort, and scans revealed a degeneration of the previously resolved lower back injury. Left-arm seamer Jediah Blades has been called in as cover and will join the team after the completion of the T20 series against Nepal. Jason Holder, who is also in the T20 team against Nepal, declined selection due to a medical procedure. Trinidad and Tobago left-arm orthodox spinner Carrie Peer is looking forward to the Test series in India, which starts on Thursday. The Queen's Park bowler, who played white ball cricket for the West Indies in the past, says there is nothing bigger than Test cricket.
I think as a cricketer, there's no other version of the game that they want to play than Test cricket. It's a great honor for me actually to play to make my debut, to get the first call, and I know hopefully make my debut. And as I said before, it's just a great honor, I know, and to represent the people of the West Indies. And I would always want to represent that badge.
Nepal has posted a total of 173 for 6 in their 20 overs in the second T20 International against the West Indies being played in Sharjah. Asif Sheikh made 68 runs and Sandeep Johra was on 38. West Indies skipper Akil Hussain was their best bowler with 2 for 21. Nepal is leading the series 1-0 after its 66-run win on Saturday. In the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile, there were mixed results for CONCACAF teams on Sunday. In Group C, Mexico played to a 2-2 draw with Brazil. The Mexicans took the lead. Ochoa scored in the 86th minute for a share of the points. Cuba, on the other hand, fell behind to 6-time tournament winners secured their 3-0 win for Argentina in the 90th minute. Stay with us here on the Midday News. We'll be right back.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Tile Depot Diwali sale on now. Stunning floors at dazzling prices. 12 by 12, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95, and 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited today at Bagney Chase Village. Call 234-4402.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business, and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Parts of the Bahamas shut down today as Tropical Storm Imelda moved across the Northwest Island. The storm is expected to strengthen into a hurricane by tomorrow. Schools and government offices were closed on several islands. Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper says only essential workers remain on duty. The system is forecast to strengthen as it moves away from the region by midweek. Officials warn residents to remain alert. Let's check in with Jean-Marc to see what's in the weather.
This morning, we had mostly fair conditions despite several light to moderate showers across both islands. There was even an isolated thunderstorm over southwestern Trinidad just around 8 a.m. For the remainder of the day, we can expect these occasional showers to continue with 1 or 2 thunderstorms over Tobago and the western half of Trinidad. Elsewhere, we have Tropical Storm Imelda currently over the northern Bahamas and is expected to make its way towards Bermuda later this week. Meanwhile, Hurricane Umberto is at Category 4 strength after briefly hitting Cat 5 over the weekend. It's expected to move west of Bermuda and out into the North Atlantic Ocean during the course of this week.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for a look at the day's developments so far. We'll have these stories and much more in our major newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great day.